What is this? I don't get it. Whoa! Where'd you come from?
Hey! Oh, what are you studying?
Apes?
Oh, for the test on Thursday?
Yeah, I'm so screwed. I don't get half the things Mr. Carlos is saying, and I've been sleeping through his lectures. You know what? Screw this. Hey, what's that? Oh, now that's more like it. Oh my god, it's Britney Spears. Dude, it's Britney Spears.
She's useless!
No!
Let me show you something more useful. It's on Australia's unsustainability. Look, come on, trust me, it's interesting.
Oh, unsustainability in Australia, huh?
Yeah.
Decisions made now about where we live and how we live will affect the lives of everyone in the world today and into the future. Environmental issues reach into almost every aspect of our lives, and they reach to every level of government. These issues also go to the quality of life, the air we breathe, the nature we share, and how much sunshine is left at the end of the day after a long commute, particularly in Australia. Changes in Australia's population will affect us all in our work, in our communities, and in our built and natural environments. Australia's population is growing and its composition is changing. Natural fertility has increased from 1.8 to 2.1 in the past 20 years, which can have significant impacts on population and the environment, considering how much food we intake and consume. The natural environment is highly valued by Australian communities and forms parts of its national character. Australia is heavily dependent on its natural environment as it provides natural pest control, soil fertility, and erosion regulation. To ensure it remains healthy and available to current and future generations, we must protect our environment.
Australia has one of the most urbanized populations in the world, with 87% living in the major cities and other urban areas. This rate of urbanization has remained relatively stable for the past century, affecting carbon dioxide emissions as well as smog emissions from cars and factories. However, because of the much urbanized areas, there are also issues of water quality. Utilized rivers contain toxins, pesticides, or salts from upstream that reach urban drinking areas and agriculture irrigation areas downstream. The once clear water has become contaminated. With the little rainfall that Australia receives each year, this water contamination is vital to Australian health and existence.
Even Australia's marine fisheries produces runoff in the oceans, affecting the growth and health of fish Australians eat. This has caused overfishing and an unusual low population of fish. The Great Barrier Reef has deteriorated and is slowly dying through this pollution. Most of Australia's energy is produced from liquefied gas. Australia is a major exporter of liquefied natural gas based on its abundant resources of natural gas, producing 78% of its petroleum and gas. It is the fifth largest liquefied natural gas producer in the world. With all of the urbanized areas and gas consumption, Australia has incorporated the use of renewable energy resources. Biodiesel, geothermal power, hydroelectric power, biomass plants, wind and solar power are being used to help contrast the massive amounts of gas being produced. However, this has not been enough to control Australia's environmental stability. Only 25% of Australia's forests remain from the 1780s when the Europeans had arrived, and 35% of the forests have already been partially logged. This ultimately affects the natural air Australia has and the carbon dioxide intake.
Several major projects in the past have been implemented to try to help Australia's problems, but they have turned out to be costly failures. Though Australians have realized that they are damaging their land for future generations and producing damage for other people, progress has not been made in the last few decades. These pictures explicitly show Australia has become and how it would become if Australian people continue these habits. However, Australia is only one country with major environment problems. The entire world is affected by the environment, even from different countries. If we all continue to allow one country's environment to degrade in this stance, the rest of our world can and will become this way too.
Wow. This is amazing. I never knew this much about Australia's unsustainability. Thanks, Crystal. So how about that school dance? Whoa, where'd you go?